Hey Gemini, what's up gang? Hope everybody is well. We're gonna go ahead and look into what Spirit wants you to know. One of my favorite readings, okay? So if that interests you, do stick around. Gemini, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Jessica. Please take a look at my description box. That's going to have any information that you would need to know. And yes, this is a Gemini channel. However, if you vibe, you tribe, so go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Gemini, if you're returning, welcome back. I hope that you're well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. I do hope that you're doing what's best for you, boo. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Gemini, thank you for all the good vibes. It really does mean the world, okay? All right, guys, so let's go ahead and just jump right into this. For your intuitive message, it's interesting because we have two that came out. We had the forces of nature that came out with the target, all right? And I heard a very favorable period is ahead of you, okay? So I feel like, dare I say, your luck is about to change. I don't really like to talk about luck because that's not a term that I necessarily believe in, but that's the kind of energy I'm getting. So you're having a very fortuitous period that's upon you. Things are going to be shifting in your favor. Things are rapidly going to be kind of working out for you in spaces where they weren't before. And it feels like you're going to really take this momentum and run with it, right? In fact, I feel like that's what Spirit would want to say to you is like, make the best out of the opportunities and the situations that are presented to you right now, because these opportunities have the potential to really go far, okay? You could have been very focused on a goal lately. You're going to be seeing some kind of results when it comes to that. There could also be some clarity that's coming in, perhaps some focus, because this card right here can sometimes make me think of like muddled thinking, like being in the forest and not being able to see you know, the trees through the forest or whatever. And with the target, it's like that's like a focus card. So there could be something here where your mind is clearing up. You have less fog, you have less confusion. Maybe you're not pondering over something as much anymore. There seems to be a very much like a focused energy, like, okay, well, I know what the truth is, or I know how I feel, and so this is what I'm going to go by. That's the kind of energy I'm getting. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get an animal message out for you. Spirit, if you could say anything to Gemini gang right now. If you were in front of Gemini gang, just having a cup of coffee, right? What would you say to Gemini? What would you say to Gemini if you could say anything that we have here? We have the moth. Interesting. This is a really interesting energy here because the moth talks about being very drawn into something, but sometimes against your better judgment. So that's really interesting. It's almost like Spirit saying that, yeah, you're going to have a very fortuitous period ahead and you're going to feel really drawn towards situations, but make sure that you're keeping your wits about you still. Make sure you're still maintaining a focus, or make sure you're still staying on target, on point here, and you're not letting yourself get swept away by circumstances or swept away by some kind of energetic pull. Let's see, right? We don't get the moth very often. Some of you guys could be seeing moths for sure. You could be going through a situation where you're rising out of a darkness, a dark situation, whether this is emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, and you're coming towards the light. I do feel like you're very drawn towards the light right now. Some of you guys could be very drawn towards spiritual practices, connecting with the divine, connecting with your higher self, perhaps connecting with your ancestors. It definitely feels like you're trying to gain some kind of answers here, or you're trying to seek out the truth or seek out the clarity. I'm getting a big seeker vibe here. Okay, let's get to the air in this book and find the moth. Okay, so the moth says impulsive, hasty, and wishful. The moth is sure that the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of the great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, enthusiastic and whimsical. When out of balance, idealizes others and jittery. To bring into balance, finish a project. So Gemini, there could be something here where maybe you wanted things, you know, the road of least resistance is kind of the energy I'm getting. There could have been something like that going on where if it's too hard, if it gives me too much struggle or too much problems, it's obviously not for me. But what Spirit is saying here is that sometimes we have to have trials. Sometimes we have to have tribulations. And in fact, sometimes the effort can be worth the prize, right? It's like the hard work that you put into something can make it even more sweet once you get to enjoy it or achieve it at the end of it, right? So this could easily be saying that just because something looks difficult doesn't mean that it's not worth it. Just because something might be a little bit hard doesn't mean that you still shouldn't go after it. In fact, I could see with these intuitive messages, this being that fog, that haziness that I was talking about, and still, you know, focusing in where you can see through the fog, through the haze, that something is actually worth the effort. Spirit is saying is that nobody is exempt from hard times, right? But we got to keep on pushing. There's also this energy of not starting so many projects that you don't plan on finishing, because this can leave you feeling really unsatisfied, unfulfilled, or even like a failure because you just weren't able to complete that project. It can also, of course, have you burnt out because you're having your hands in so many different baskets at once. So yeah, Spirit is saying that, you know, you might not be able to take the easy way out when it comes to something, or looking at something as, oh, that's too hard, I'm going to go find something else, something new, something that's not, it's going to be easier, might not be as fulfilling in the end. Easy doesn't always equal fulfilling, right? Very interesting. Okay, well, I'm curious to see what this message is going to be about, guys. So let's put our moth buddy over here. Tuck him in right there, okay? And let's get some messages out here. We're going to use the gods, angels, gods, goddesses, angels, ancestors. I forget what this deck is called. It's the angels, gods, and goddesses deck, okay? Okay, Spirit, so what messages do you have for Gemini, gang? If you could say anything to Gemini right now, what would you say? Okay. We have the goddess of sacred power. You are being encouraged to take a leading role in your current situation. Yeah, there's an energy here about like rising up. Like Spirit would say, it's time to rise up. It's time to be a leader. It's time to take control of a situation. It's not time to give up or to run away because it's hard. It's time to really dig your heels in and try harder. There's something here where Spirit wants you to know that you have a sacred power when it comes to something. You have the ability to make a difference. And whatever the situation is, maybe it is a little scary, or maybe there are some uncertainties, or there's a lot of change that's involved or something, because it does feel like with the moth, there's a temptation here to just run away. But Spirit is saying that's not going to leave you satisfied in the end. Also, this yellow flower always reminds me of frankincense for whatever reason. So maybe you need to cleanse your energy. Maybe there's a need to see how anointed you are as well, Gemini. That's coming through really heavily. Like, you are anointed, you are chosen. You know, you have more power than you are aware of. And it's time to put that power to use. It's time to manifest your dreams and go after it. But you definitely need to cleanse your energy right now. Perhaps cleanse your energy from people around you who don't encourage you to step into your full potential, right? Maybe you have friends or influences or people around you that tell you like, oh, if it's not easy, then it's not for you. But that's not always the case, right? And maybe these people are the type that like give up when things get hard, or they don't continue through or follow through with goals, promises, commitments because of things being difficult. Like Spirit wants you to maybe question some of the influences you have around you, because you are meant to go the distance here. You are meant to step into a leading role. There's a big energy coming through from Spirit of like, don't run away, turn around, face it, and take charge. That's coming through, Gemini, okay? Also, we have with this yellow flower, it makes me think of the solar plexus chakra, right? Which is all about your expression. So maybe you are being asked to express yourself in a very bold and confident way here. We have the goddess of psychic protection. What you believe, you create. No one can harm you. Yeah, there's an energy here, Gemini, of Spirit saying that you are creating your reality as you go. That's how powerful you are. And nothing and nobody can harm you without your permission. Spirit could have a lot of protection on you right now, on maybe your life, your goals, your achievements, your purpose, your path, your light, perhaps, is being protected right now. There could definitely be some, I don't know why it's coming through, but it is. Like, I'm getting like there's energy here of there's possibly negative influences around you, you know, that are maybe trying to get you off path a little bit, or to maybe skew your vision. See how she's got that fog or whatever that's coming out of her eyes? It's making me feel like there's something where there's a perspective shift that's needed on your end. It's making me feel like there's a big potential here to see something in a not a great way, or in a way that would cause you to run off. It's interesting too, because when we look at the forces of nature, it's literally like the same kind of color scape as the moth. The greens, the yellows, like it's the same kind of thing. So maybe this haziness or this muddled thinking, this lack of clarity, or not being able to see the bigger picture could cause you to possibly run away or to back out of something. So that's very interesting. We have the God of Indulgence at the bottom of the deck. It says, it's all right. Stop beating yourself up. A little indulgence and balance is healthy. So I do feel like Spirit wants you to forgive yourself, perhaps for maybe any mistakes that you've made in the past or choices that you feel didn't lead you to where you wanted to go. There's no need to beat yourself up. If maybe you fell off, right? For some of you guys, you could be battling addictions. You could be, battling negative mindsets, or maybe you have a weakness for a person. Perhaps you keep letting a person into your life that you know is not good for you. There's something here where Spirit's saying, don't be too hard on yourself about that. You're just human, and it's okay. The best thing about falling is that you can get back up, right? You can start over again. Life isn't over until it's truly over for you. So if your heart's still beating and you're breathing and you're listening to this message, then you still have a chance, Gemini. That's what's coming through from Spirit, okay? Don't be hard on yourself if there's any kind of addiction that you're struggling with, and maybe you find yourself having a really hard time with that. Maybe it's time to talk to somebody, maybe talk to somebody who's really been through addiction and has, overcome that. There's a need to kind of take the shame element off of that as well, because a lot of people on this planet struggle with addictions. It's very, very, very common. So maybe there's a forum. When I was quitting smoking, I don't know why this is significant, but maybe somebody needs to hear this. When I was quitting smoking, I got a lot of support off of the Delphi forums. I think it's spelled DELPHI, Delphi forums. And that's how I joined a group that was like smoking cessation or whatever, like quitting smoking. And that was my lifeline, man. Like that really helped me. It really, really helped me. So perhaps there is something here. We're going on forums, for people who are battling addictions, reading other stories, connecting with people who are going through the same thing as you. It might just really help you, right? But what Spirit is saying is, regardless, you can do this. It's funny because I don't know why I feel the need to talk about this, but I do. Maybe somebody is really dealing with this, but I remember reaching out to one of my buddies on the forum when I was really struggling, and I was like wanting to smoke a cigarette so bad, and I just needed somebody to just say something to me to talk me off the ledge, talk me from going to the corner store and getting a pack of cigarettes, and she said, Jessica, all you have to do to not smoke is not smoke. And at the time I was like, well, no shit, Sherlock, but I kept saying that to myself. All you have to do to not smoke is not smoke. And it's so true. It's such a simplistic but profound truth. All you have to do to not do this is not do it. And so that was like my lifeline that I clung to for the rough parts of my, quitting smoking, because it was really rough for me, was all I have to do is just not smoke. And so I did everything and anything to avoid smoking, basically. Actually, it's what got me into picking up the cards more and interacting with tarot more and deciding to start a channel and put my energy into something else. So there's something about that, okay? All you have to do to not do whatever this is not do it. If you're struggling with some kind of addiction or something like that. That's just a message for somebody. Let's continue, okay? What would you say to Gemini Gang Spirit if you were right in front of them? If you're sitting down, having a conversation with them. Oh, that's way too many. What would you say to Gemini Gang? One, please. Oh, okay. We have the Goddess of Nature. You reap what you sow. Your dream is coming into fruition. That's literally like my Forces of Nature is favoring you card. And we have that with this. And might I add, none of this was by design. It's just pure synchronicity that another card that looks very similar. So there is definitely something here where you're going to be able to see through this fog soon. You're going to be able to take your power back, or you're being encouraged to. You're being encouraged to really take a leading role in your life or in your situation right now. You will reap what you have sown. All the hard work that you've put in, Gemini, all the effort that you've put in, it's going to pay off. Even if this hard work and this effort is just on like an internal energetic level, right? You've just been going through the trenches, trying to heal yourself, trying to let things go, trying to clear out negative energy, right? This is going to pay off for you. You are going to see some kind of success. You're blessed here with that pentacle on top of her head. There's an energy of being blessed. I'm getting like blessings on your head. Okay, so Spirit might be putting blessings on your head or blessings on your name, or there's some kind of respect that's going to be put on your name is the energy I'm getting. Some of you guys could literally have had a dream too, okay? There could have been something here where maybe you had a dream about something. That dream is going to happen, okay? This could be like metaphorically or like literally a dream that you had while you slept is going to happen. It's going to come true. If you're like me and you keep a dream journal, you might actually be able to flip back and read that dream and be like, holy crap, right? Like that's exactly what I dreamed about. So very interesting, because I feel like Spirit's been telling you for a while that you're on the right path, you're on the right track. You just need to keep pushing, or you need to keep going, or maybe you need to follow your intuition, right? Whatever this is. And it's like you're finally going to start seeing some kind of results here. Bottom of the deck, we have the goddess of the sacred path. Let go of logic and trust your intuition. Yeah, that's the energy here. Like some things are not logical. Some things are purely intuitive based in this world. And we have to be able to trust our inner senses, right? The moth is a perfect example because that card's talking about when the tough gets going, the going gets tougher. When the tough gets going, the tough gets going. Whatever that quote is basically, but basically what the moth is talking about is like, just because shit gets hard don't mean we run away. Doesn't mean we start something new. Doesn't mean we jump to the grass is greener on the other side, right? We dig in and we commit ourselves to whatever we are, focused on, right? So the logical response here for something that might be hard and might be making you want to run away from it, even though you are very intuitively drawn towards it, could be, well, if it's too hard, it's not for you. If there's too many blockages, that's a clear sign you're meant to go in another direction, which sometimes that actually is true, Gemini. That's not always like the case. Like just because it's hard, you should keep going. Sometimes, yes, blockages can be a sign that something is not meant for you. But actually, in this case, with these messages, what Spirit is saying is that that's not the case. Just because something is hard doesn't mean that you shouldn't go after it. And even though it's logical to maybe give up on something because it looks so hard, you should actually trust what your intuition is telling you. Because your intuition is telling you something different than what your logic is telling you right now. Okay? Interesting. I like this reading so far. Okay, so let's get some more messages. I'm not going to keep any other cards out. But I want to see if there's any other messages that want to come through from this deck. Spirit, what would you say to Gemini if you were in front of them currently? What would you say to Gemini right now if you were in front of them? Okay, we have the god of the underworld. Yeah, there's like something here with addictions or fears or maybe restrictions or like binding, like feeling very bound. Because this is one of the more devilish type of cards, as we saw before with the other one, which is so ironic because these cards look like Jesus for some reason. But then we have the angel of addiction healing on the bottom of the deck. So there's something going on like that with somebody. It says, God of the underworld, something which no longer serves you is about to end. The angel of the addiction healing. This is a time of positive transformation and healing. Yes, I do feel that very strongly. There's something here about that, where we're letting go of negative habits, things that are toxic for us. It's not good for us, Some of you guys, I'm getting this energy. I don't know who this belongs to, but I'm getting the feeling that somebody is very disappointed in themselves because they feel like they fell all the way back, It's giving me the feeling of like how disappointed I would be in myself if I went and started smoking cigarettes and like went right back to like a pack a day after having been quit for like, 5-6 years? Like, yes, I would be very disappointed in myself. And that's the kind of feeling I'm getting. But that doesn't mean that you can't just restart. It doesn't mean that you can't just quit again, So there's something here about that. Something that's no longer serving you, something that has been very parasitic on your life, something that has been taking your energy force, draining your energy force, whether knowingly, unknowingly, willingly, unwillingly, is something that is about to end. Some of you guys might need to do a cord cutting every single day. Every single morning, you might need to pull back your energy. That's something I do every single day. Every single day when I light my incense and my candle on my ancestor altar and I thank them for all the protection and guidance that they give me. Every single day, I ask Spirit to remove any cords that have bound themselves to me, willingly, unwillingly, knowingly, unknowingly. Okay? And that might be something that you need to do, like develop a daily practice to remove cords, especially if you are somebody who is quite sensitive, like you're an empath or you're just very intuitive and you pick up on energies, frequencies, environments, people, negative energies. If you're the type of person that shakes hands with many people during a day, you might need to really take your cleansing into, make it like a top priority of energetically cleansing yourself. It's kind of giving the energy because they're showing me in my mind's eye like somebody who takes their shoes off before they walk in the house. So maybe before you walk into your house, you need to just like shake it off and just ask Spirit to remove any negative energy that's attached. Don't even bring it into your house. Like, don't bring the dirt from the outside into your environment. There's something about that. Some of you guys, this is not for everybody, but there could be some kind of health thing going on with the eyes. Because I'm seeing something going up shiny in her eyes, their eyes, their eyes, their eyes. And then we saw another one where the eyes. That could just be the artwork too on this deck, but I don't know. It's worth mentioning, right? There's something here for somebody with the eyes. I feel like something could be healing. There could also be like maybe a parasite or something. So if you're feeling off or you're not feeling great, maybe it is worth a check to the doctor. Okay? But maybe whatever this negative energy was, whether this was an addiction, an attachment, an influence from a person, a situation, whatever, okay? It caused some kind of perspective for you that was not helping you. It was causing you maybe to not be able to make decisions properly or to turn away from things that were actually good for you. There's something where you're gaining that perspective back, that positive perspective. You're taking your power back here. That's coming through very strongly. Anything else from this deck, Spirit? If you could say anything to Gemini gang, what would you say to them? Anything else? Yeah, we have the angel of healing. The angels have felt your sadness and have shown up today to send you healing. Okay, and then on the bottom of the deck, we have the angel of vision. Someone is not revealing part of the story. Trust your feelings over what others say. Some of you guys could have been really sad over somebody. You could have felt like somebody just was not who they acted like they were or they claimed to be. Like that's been proven to you now. And it could have really hurt you. I'm hearing gut punch. So some of you guys could have felt like you got gut punched by somebody. Like you're just, I'm getting the energy of like a disappointment because you really like, maybe you put this person on a pedestal because it's giving that kind of energy, but it's also just giving the energy of like, I really thought that you were better than this, or I really thought that you were different than this, or I really believed in you, right? Like I trusted in you. You might be the type of person, Gemini, who does not really trust people or does not give people the benefit of the doubt or the time of day, or you might feel like, you know, and you might feel really disappointed because you almost fell into this person's trap. Like this person was I'm hearing a smooth operator, okay, by Sade. Maybe you feel like somebody was a smooth operator and like they got you, right? Congratulations, you got me. That's the kind of energy I'm like, you know, but Spirit's saying you're healing from this sadness. If you feel like you were definitely misled by somebody and they weren't who they claimed to be, like you're healing from this. The angels are coming to heal you. Okay, it's important that you get a lot of sleep, you drink a lot of water, you're eating fruits and vegetables, you're taking care of yourself, you're not listening to music that drums up these negative energies, because there's something here about you have a lot of spiritual protection and a lot of spiritual healing that's over you right now, but you got to do your part. You got to take care of yourself. There's something like that going on for somebody, okay? Angel of vision here, someone who's not revealing part of the story. There could also be something here where maybe you don't know the truth. Maybe you are assuming something, and rightly so, because of circumstances or because of what something looks like, but maybe something hasn't been revealed to you. And so if the truth was revealed to you, you'd see that actually it's not as black and white as that. Like there's nuances or something to this, you know? I don't know. That's for somebody here, okay? One more from this deck, and then we're going to be done with this deck. What would you say to Gemini gang if you were in front of them right now? We have the goddess of oneness. Someone you love is thinking of you fondly at the moment. Interesting. And then we have the god of spiritual healing on the bottom. An aspect of you or a situation in your life is in need of healing. Okay, so I'm getting a couple messages, okay? First of all, I'm getting passed on loved ones very strongly, okay? If you have anybody, a friend, a brother, a sister, a mother, a grandmother, right? A lover, a child, anybody, maybe even a pet, right? That has passed on. This energy is around you heavily right now. And you could be seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities in regards to that. I'm getting like their favorite animal. So, you know, any animal that they really liked, you might see their favorite color or number. If they had a favorite food, maybe that's going to be presented to you out of the blue. There could be a scent, a certain scent that they used to wear. Maybe you're going to see it or you're going to smell it. For some reason, I'm getting bells too. So I don't know, maybe bells or like jingling sounds or coins clinging together or something. You might hear like little ting, 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 ting. Like, I don't know, I'm getting that kind of energy. You might hear that when this person comes through. Okay. but they are with you is the energy I'm getting, and they're rooting for you on the other side. And it's like this energy of like, you can do this, you got this. And some of you guys might be very sad because you feel like, if only I had this person here to talk to, right? But this person is saying that they are with you, and you can talk to them anytime that you want. You may not get words back as an answer, but you will get some kind of response, whether that's, again, a sign, a synchronicity, or just a sensation and a feeling. Like, you'll get some kind of response back if you talk to whoever this is that's passed over, okay? Now, for others of you, this is very much a physical person that is thinking fondly of you at the moment. This could be somebody that you need healing in regards to. This could be somebody that it's a situation where both of you guys need to heal, or both of you guys might be very healing for each other. There's something about that. And I don't know why they're showing me the chakra grid, but they are. So I don't know what's up with that. Okay, sometimes visions just come and go, and I just say whatever comes into my mind. They're also showing me Reese's Pieces, so that could be significant for somebody. But yeah, I feel like there's a situation where it's like somebody is thinking fondly of you. Somebody could also be watching you from a distance and seeing like your healing journey, and they're very proud of you, even if they were the one that actually put that on you. Like, put you, like, it's, you know, it's kind of crazy. It is. But I'm getting the energy of like somebody who maybe like they were the catalyst to this healing and it wasn't pleasant, but they're really proud of you that you're doing your healing, which kind of makes me feel like this person didn't intentionally mean to hurt you, is the energy I'm getting. Like, it just, that's how it went. Maybe that was how it was supposed to go. Sometimes souls show up in our life to actually help us get on our healing journey, and it's not always pleasant, but that was their job. Like, that was part of their contract. They were supposed to do that, you know? That's why digging deep and seeing things from a higher perspective sometimes can really help you with your resentment and your bitterness. When you're not looking at somebody like you're the enemy, but you're instead looking at somebody like they're the teacher, it's really helpful. Now, of course, you don't have to like thank them, right? You don't have to like thank them and go out of your way to be like, oh my God, thank you for coming into my life and completely turning it upside down. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be healed today. Like, you don't have to go through those like lengths or anything, but to recognize that everybody, good or bad, is a teacher in your life. Everybody is teaching you something is very significant, okay? And there is a situation that is being healed, and somebody is really thinking fondly of you, and because of your healing or because of the effort or something that you're putting in, okay? Yeah, I wanted to pull a card for this goddess of oneness. We have the God of conflict resolution. You're being encouraged to walk away from a current conflict. Like, you're being encouraged to not hold any resentment in your heart right now. Of course, y'all are all big girls and big boys, okay? And you can do whatever you want to. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just a humble tarot reader, right? But that is what's coming through from spirit. Don't hold any resentment in your heart or bitterness in your heart. It's really easy to go in that apeshit mode. Trust me, I know. Trust me. Okay, I know. It's really easy to hold on to the anger because the anger feels better than sadness sometimes, right? But spirit says you're such a beautiful energy. You deserve more than to feel anger. You deserve more than to feel sadness too. Maybe you can let go of the anger. Maybe you can let go of the sadness. Maybe you can heal. Maybe you can see the lesson in a situation, you know? Sorry for hearing all these bumps and knocks. For some reason, this year, the acorns have been falling way more than they were last year. I don't know. It's only my second year in this house, but I hear like little knocks and acorns every freaking day. And I have one of those really strong like tin roofs, so I hear everything. Anyways, maybe that's significant for somebody. Who knows, right? But yeah, you're being encouraged to walk away from a conflict. And somebody could also be really like thinking of you fondly for how you handle conflict or how you're handling something. You know, maybe somebody around you has been very conflicted and they've been holding on to resentment and bitterness in regards to you because of the situation that happened. Maybe they don't want to anymore. For some reason, I'm getting a masculine and feminine energy too. This does not have to be a male and a female. This is a masculine and feminine. Masculinity and femininity has nothing to do with genders, okay? So, but I am getting like maybe a divine masculine and a divine feminine. And I feel like there's a divine masculine that's being encouraged to let go of some kind of conflict or resentment or bitterness in his life, or maybe something that's directed at this feminine energy. This feminine could be being encouraged to understand that she is being thought of. I can't even fucking speak, y'all. Jeez Louise. Anyways, that she is being thought of fondly at this moment. I don't know. There's something going on with people, a couple here, or people, a duo, a gruesome twosome, okay? That's fighting right now or in conflict or something. But they're really both thinking fondly of each other or want the best for each other. Even if that means it's not each other, right? That's coming through very strongly. There could also have been a third eye awakening for a masculine energy and a heart chakra awakening. Okay. So take that as it resonates, guys. Good golly molly. Okay, let's get some more out here. I actually want to clarify some stuff and get some extra details. Goddess of the sacred power, you're being encouraged to take a leading role in your current situation. What is this talking about for Gemini? For what you would say to them, Spirit? Oh, I don't know how that came out so magical. The temperance energy. Yeah, you're being asked to temper yourself. You're being asked to ground yourself, balance yourself right now, okay? Especially when something looks like it's going to be really tough, or it looks like, you know, there's an end, or maybe there was a betrayal, there's a bitter ending here, or there's lots of negative thoughts, negative energies. Maybe there's, again, negative influences, all right? You're being asked to temper yourself, balance yourself out. I'm also hearing don't betray yourself by ignoring your vessel, okay? So I feel like for some of you guys, like maybe because that's very common, like when you're depressed or when you're going through an addiction or you're upset, right? You don't really care about yourself anymore. You don't take care of yourself in the way that you should, you know? And there could be something here where Spirit's saying, keep taking care of yourself. Keep going to the gym. Keep eating properly, you know? Keep up on your spiritual habits and practices. You know, keep making sure that you are a priority, even though you might be going through whatever this is right now. It's important that you don't betray yourself because of what you're experiencing at this point in time. So there could be something here where somebody really needs to make their health a priority. Okay, like you still matter. And I know that's so hard when you're depressed or you're going through it. But like even getting up and like just brushing your teeth or making your bed or maybe getting like a pot of soup on, you know, and having a nice little warm hearty meal with some crusty bread or something, like it can help. Maybe making yourself some hot cocoa or a really fancy drink, or going and getting a really fancy coffee if that's available to you. There's something here where it's like treating yourself in a little ways can make a big difference, and it's going to help you stay balanced, okay? You also could have some kind of leadership position that is going to be available to you, and you will need to be balanced to step into this. People will be looking up to you, or people will be, you know, getting inspiration, guidance from you. Like your light is going to be helping many. So it's important that you care for your light, you know, because when you are like a lighthouse, it's really easy for when it's dimming or it's blinking. They always show me like the lighthouse where like the light's like blinking in the ship's like, I don't know what to do. You know, and I know that can feel very burdensome sometimes. Trust me, do I know? Like it can feel really burdensome sometimes to have people depending on you when you're tired yourself and you're, you know, you don't even know what you're doing in your own life. That's why Spirit's saying it's okay to pull back sometimes, and it is okay to take care of your own light before you try to guide other people with it. Right? You don't truly owe anybody anything on this planet. Even if you have healing abilities, empath abilities, spiritual abilities, whatever, you don't owe anybody your healing. You don't owe anybody your light. You owe yourself your healing and your light. So that's just a message for my healers coming through from Spirit. If you feel tired, if you feel resentment, if you feel like, you know, well, how come nobody ever shines their light for me? How come I'm the only one that has to shine my light? If you start to feel like that, it might be time to pull back, recharge yourself. Do something nice for yourself, okay? That's one of the reasons why I did my nails, okay? Because I haven't done my nails. I haven't had this length or done my nails in a very long time, like years, because I was focused on other things and making other things a priority, but I miss looking down at my hands and seeing nice, long, beautiful nails. I used to always have my nails done. Those who have been here from the beginning, you know, my nails stayed did, okay? So I want to treat myself and do something nice for myself. So there could be something like that going on, right? Okay, what else do we have here for this? Yeah, you're stepping into a new path or a new journey. There could be good news that's going to be coming in here, communication that's going to be really helpful for you. With the Page of Wands here, this is going to be something that's going to ignite a fire or cause you to feel super excited is the energy I'm getting. Page of Wands is also my life purpose card. Yellow butterfly just flew past my window for confirmation for somebody. But yeah, there's an energy here of like being called on a path or being called on a journey. And wanting to go on it too. Like this is going to bring a lot of harmony, celebration, possibly new spiritual contracts or a stabilizing and a foundation here. So that's why it's important that you take care of yourself, or you heal yourself, or keep yourself moderated, keep yourself balanced, okay? Very interesting. Yeah, you've been struggling through something, but there's a strength or there's a resilience that you're showing here right now that Spirit is extremely proud of, okay? So what is this Goddess of Psychic Protection? What you believe you create, no one can harm you. What is this here for, Spirit, for what you want to say to Gemini gang? We have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, I'm talking, look, with the Devil on the bottom of the deck, Capricorn energy. Sagittarius, by the way, for the Temperance, if I didn't say it. I feel like there's some kind of energy where you are very susceptible to negative energies. Like I was saying, you easily pick up vibrational frequencies from other people, from environments, from things. You're the type of person that where, like, if you go to a thrift shop and you buy old furniture, old jewelry or whatever, you need to cleanse that stuff. Like me personally, I used to like to thrift, but then I started noticing that I was bringing things home that had energy on it that I didn't like. I also refused to get things from estate sales. Like, I do not go to estate sales because I just know with me, I'm going to attract something that's going to want to come home with me, and I'm good. So there's something here with that. Make sure you're cleansing items that are being given to you, or items that are maybe passed down, or if you do like to go to estate sales or thrift shops or antique stores or something like that, just make sure you're cleansing the energy, because you have the ability to pick up these attachments very easily. It's interesting too, because, you know, the Queen of Cups, she can sometimes be my queen that's releasing stuff back to the ocean. Like, we don't need this, so back to the ocean you go. I feel like that's the energy here, right? Like Spirit saying you're in charge. You have the power of participation. It's up to you what you choose to give energy to. It's up to you what you choose to keep in your life, what you choose to allow to be an influence around you. Again, the Devil, you could definitely have some negative influences around you. Again, this is talking about addictions, toxic people, toxic environments, toxic mindsets, trauma, cycles, things that make you feel burdened, temptations, things like that. The Spirit saying you have the power to release whatever you don't want back to the ocean. You don't have to keep anything. And recognizing how sensitive you are is your superpower, right? Because with awareness comes power, and also comes the ability to control it. You know? Let me get some coffee, guys. Coffee is life. Okay. So yeah, that's the energy I'm getting. You are an empath. This is my sensitive queen, right? This is my spiritual queen, male or female. This is my person who has the ability to heal, but also has the ability to absorb. Okay? So it's really important that you're keeping an eye on that. Give me something else for this Goddess of Protection, of Psychic Protection here. We have Judgment, Scorpio energy coming through, Leo energy with the Sun on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, there's an energy here of like reflecting, but also, you know, making sure that you are using sound judgment, seeing things for what they are, being very clear with yourself with the Sun. I also feel like this judgment that you're using, is going to help bring happiness into your life, bring healing and abundance, you know, all the expansion and joy that the Sun card brings. This could really help you out. Also, it's interesting because this Goddess of Psychic Protection says, what you believe you create, no one can harm you. I'm getting, for some reason, I'm getting that song. What is it? I think it's Making My Way Downtown, walking fast, faces pass, and I'm homebound. I don't know why I'm getting that song, but I am. I feel like there's something here where Spirit's saying like it's okay for you to be off in your own little world. It's okay for you to walk to the beat of your own drum or flute, or what is this, a clarinet? I don't know what she's playing, but it's okay for you to walk to your own beat, basically. You're meant to, you know? You're not meant to follow the crowd, Gemini. You know, we know, but hey, never hurts to hear it, okay? There's something here where you're not meant to follow the crowd. You're meant to kind of do your own thing and use your own judgment. Lean on a sense of your own understanding, because you have definitely been through the school of life, okay? You've learned a lot. You've acquired a lot of wisdom on this journey. You don't really need any kind of outside source. You don't need me. You don't need tarot. You don't need your best friend. You don't need your mama. You don't need anybody really to tell you what you feel in your heart or what's right for you. You know, because you are a very evolved soul. You've been through a lot. You've experienced a lot, and you've healed yourself from a lot. Of course, it always helps to have these outside, you know, guidance and help, and it does help, right? But you don't necessarily need it. So make sure you're walking to a beat of your own drum. Make sure that if anything, you get any kind of advice or guidance, even if it's from me, okay? You get any kind of advice or guidance that just doesn't sit well with you, discard it. It's not for you. Because at the end of the day, you have your own autonomy and you are a self-sovereign person, right? Okay. What is this goddess of nature? You reap what you sow. Your dream is coming to fruition. What is it talking about for what you want to say to Gemini spirit? What is this goddess of nature saying? Okay. We have the 10 of Cups. Wow. We like to see it, y'all. Okay. We like to see it. That's what's coming into fruition for you. That's what you're manifesting, right? Ace of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. A seed to be planted. A seed to grow. You could be manifesting a family. I'm hearing a girl worth fighting for. I don't know why I'm hearing that from Mulan. Some of y'all could be manifesting a girl worth fighting for. Okay. Or boy. Yeah, it feels like there's something here where it's like you could be manifesting like, dare I say, a happily ever after. You know? It's funny because yesterday I was on the phone with my friend out in the front yard talking. And I noticed like, you know, like those, what are they? The dandelions that have like the big, they look like big poof balls and you can blow them and make a wish and like all the little seeds disperse. Well, one of those little seeds, like with the little poof ball thingy on the end, just floated right past me. And it was just so whimsical and magical. And it just felt like I was even able to like catch it. And like, you know, I just released it again. I had like a moment, you know what I mean? It was like a Cinderella, Snow White twirling around in the forest with her forest creatures type of moment for me. Okay, it was nice. And I feel like there's something like that that's possibly going to happen to you, or there's something like that that you can create for yourself. There's a feeling like that is what it's giving. Like it's giving like magical, whimsical, like happily ever after, like dreams can come true. Like, you know, there's something here where you're manifesting a happiness here, or a happily ever after. Okay. Maybe a family or a connection or just community that is very loving and warm and giving. So very interesting. You might be wanting to spend a lot of time in nature as well. Justice, Libra energy coming through. This is interesting because we have Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. That's like 3 signs in a row. And so maybe this season, this fall going into the early winter season is going to be significant to you. But yeah, Justice, there could be balance in connections because Justice, Libra energy, Libra talks about connections and partnerships. So there could be balancing out when it comes to a connection, and this would make you very happy. That's for some of you. Maybe you've been having issues with your family. Maybe there's been a lot of fighting or something. There could be justice that's coming through. Maybe somebody is going to make something right, or something is going to be made right. If you have been worried about a court case or any kind of legality, that is going to work out in your favor. A very happy outcome here with the 10 of Cups. And maybe this was a long battle, right? Look at these 2 little kitties fighting with each other. It's almost like you can go from like fighting to purring or something. Like something can go completely 180 and turn around. That's the energy I'm getting. But yeah, something is going to be balanced. I'm also with the Justice energy. I'm getting karma. Okay. You reap what you sow. Your dreams coming to fruition. That really looks like karma or manifestation to me. So yeah, I feel like something is going to be working out for you or balancing. It's interesting too that we have a card in the beginning that talks about balance and a card in the end that talks about balance. So do with that as you may. I feel like somebody was trying to search for the truth or trying to discover the truth about a situation, right? The King of Swords, he is a truth wielder and a truth seeker, as is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords maybe is trying to gain clarity, right? And the Page of Swords believes that once they gain clarity, it will be the truth. So there's like investigation type of energy. For some of you, if there's an investigation going on at work or something like that, that's going to turn out very well. But it does feel like there was like, you know, somebody who is maybe investigating something, trying to figure out what the truth is. Truth is, Gemini, like you make somebody happy or somebody makes you happy, or a situation would make you happy if it was resolved or there was justice. Okay. Okay. Let's get some advice and additional messages and be done with this reading. Face your fear. Card number 38. You are more with a breakthrough. That's a whole message right there. What do we have here for Gemini gang? Advice and additional messages. What do we have here for Gemini gang? Advice and additional messages, Spirit. Oh, that's way too many, but look, see beyond your past. I am going to keep that. I feel like that's significant here. You have to see beyond the past. You have to see beyond the sadness, the things that haven't worked out for you here. The mistakes you feel like you've made. We saw that at the beginning. There's no use beating yourself up over spilt milk. Just go get a towel and clean it up. That's all you can do, right? Card number 23, by the way, 5, right? Reducing to 5. 5s could be significant, or maybe there's something here where it's like you've been through a lot of changes. You've been through a lot of challenges. And yeah, you're going to be a little bit beat up because of that. but that doesn't mean that you're any less worthy. That's for somebody. What else do we have here? Spirit, advice and additional messages for what you want to say to them. Advice and additional messages, please, for Gemini. We have keep trying, okay? Card number 4. You know the story behind this card, but if you don't and you're new here, I'll really quickly explain. Keep trying is somebody who was trying to heal themselves, and they kept looking for like outside sources, especially in regards to a starfish. So, you know, they even at one point got desperate enough to eat one of the starfish legs, thinking that if they ingested some of the starfish, this would heal them. But then it didn't. And so they kind of just sat the starfish to the side and they watched the starfish, and then they've seen the starfish regenerate itself, right? Because starfish can heal themselves. And that's when it clicked in to the person, oh, I can heal myself. Okay, so maybe you've been looking and seeking and trying to find like what I can heal or how I can heal this or what I need, right? Maybe the grass is greener with the moth energy of like, if it's too hard, I'll run away. I'll run, right? Spirit is saying, no, you can't run from yourself, right? You have to go within to heal whatever this is. It's within you. And that's directly a reflection of this goddess of psychic protection, because this right here is saying you have the power of participation. You have the power to heal yourself. You have the power to cooperate or go along with something. You have the power to hold on to negative energies, mindsets, people, environments, whatever. It's up to you. Nothing can harm you unless you give it permission. Also, if there's a goal that you're working on, obviously keep trying. But yeah, I feel like the true essence of the card is what it's talking about. We have an unknown gift, card number 41. Another 5, might I add. Okay, so there could be an unknown gift. I'm hearing there's a twist ahead. So there could be a twist, there could be a turn, there could be something unexpected that's going to happen moving forward. It's going to feel like music to your ears. There could be a message, a phone call, good news coming in. This could be like music to your ears. This could change something. What else do we have here? Advice and additional messages for Gemini for this. Oh, okie dokie. I'm going to keep those 2, and that's going to be it. We have immense growth, card number 15. Okay, we have 4, we have 5, and then we have 6. So there's going to be a sequence of events here for sure. That's crazy too, because I'm filming this on the 15th of November as well. Yeah, but you've been through this roller coaster here of growth, and growth is not always easy. It's not always like from point A to point B. Sometimes we have to go through a whole bunch, you know? And so that's why another reason with the moth energy coming out of, sometimes we think that, oh, we should be easily able to go from point A to point B. There should be no interruptions, no distractions, no problems in the middle of that. But that's not always the case. Sometimes growth is a roller coaster, you know, but it's worth it at the end. Okay. Also, flamingos talk about abundance. So there could be a lot of abundance that's going to come in. And look, we have you are about to shine. Card number 26. So maybe you've been kind of holding yourself back from being authentic or stepping into the limelight or taking a chance, or maybe you just felt like you haven't been being as recognized as you'd like to be. That is about to change, Gemini. Okay. Okay, Gemini. That has been your reading. I do hope that it helps. Hope it resonates. Hope it does something. And I will see y'all